Okay. So as we're getting this call recorded, and honestly, even right now, I'm going to go off in a squirrel moment here before we get into the leadership talk. And this is something that I had to remind myself what me and Heather were talking about. And how many of you guys are in this business right now, and even maybe when you first started and you're like, all right, like, everyone's going to be a coach. How many of you guys ever thought about that? Like, you're all of a sudden, you're like, dude, like, there's so many coaches out there. So there's like 400,000 coaches out there, 500,000 coaches out there. Like, why is someone going to join with me? And all of a sudden, everyone's going to have coaches and coaches and coaches, and everybody's going to be coaches, and there's going to be no one left. Honestly, who seriously has thought like that in their head before? Okay. Awesome. Thank you for being honest. I love this, because guess what? Let me tell you something here. I've thought this way before too. This has come in my head before. And I'm going to tell you one thing here. If you guys truly, first of all, believe this, let me ask you a question. Why are you doing what you're doing? And maybe you're not going 100% in, like all in, that you can be going. But if you feel like there's going to be a cap out in people in this business, why are you not going 100%, finding people right now, showing them what you have to offer, and bringing them on your team, since everybody else in the world is going to be bringing their coaches on, and we're all going to be coaches, right? Because if it's going to cap out, then why are you doing this business if you feel like you can't grow to where you can grow? Just a quick thought like that came to my head. Now you're thinking like, okay, well, first of all, let me tell you, there is an abundance of people. Second of all, we opened to Canada. There's places, they already know that they will be opening up. Don't know where yet. There's plenty of rumors of, oh, it might be here, whatever. But they are looking to open up more, okay? So for one, 400,000 people, can you guys, I don't know, anybody know how many people are in the United States right now? Not to mention like how massively we grow every single day. Anybody know? Alex is up looking it up. I know he is. So, but anyways, quickly, this is all I'm saying right now to you, is that if you've ever thought that in your mind about there not being an abundance enough of people and that everyone's going to have coaches because they're going to coaches and coaches and coaches, but you're here and you're like, okay, I don't know. Well, then you know what? Build your team now. If you want it, you want it now. If you want to build, you're going to want it now. And what's the point in putting all your hard work in just to kind of half do it? So I'm just going to say that here. Oh my gosh, there's two Heathers. Or did I go crazy? Sorry. Okay, so if you're going to do it, just go for it. And understand that there is a lot of people out there, and people are going to come to you because of you. So let's jump into the whole leadership. That was just kind of my squirrel moment. So I'm going to ask you a question. Again, I told you guys, feel free to hop off mute and say yes or go in the chat. This is going to be a very interactive call tonight. Let me ask you a question. How many of you feel that you are leaders? Anyone feeling here that they're a leader? Okay. All right. So a few people. Okay. How many of you want to be leaders? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay. First off, let me tell you this. Every single one of you are leaders in this business. Did you know that? Why? Because you guys are all leading people to live healthier, fulfilling lives, aren't you?
Leadership by example.
Exactly. But you guys want to become better leaders, right? And you want to rise to your maximum potential every single day. Yes? Yes? Okay, awesome. So leadership deals with people and their dynamics, which continuously change. So our biggest challenge with leadership is we have to figure out and create change, but also building growth. So how can we do that? Let me tell you this. Good leadership isn't about advancing yourself. It's about advancing your team and leading people well with their heart. So lead people well and help your team become effective leaders. And that was something that I struggled with so much, and my team will tell you, I talked about it all the time. I suck at leadership. I don't know how to, I feel like I'm doing this. I worked so hard on doing this, and I just felt like everybody would see the potential in this. And some of you guys might be the same. You're like, okay, I see the potential in this. I hopped on this. I know what there is to offer. And then, so you feel that people are also going to see the same thing, and they're not. They're not unless you show it to them. They're not going to see that until you show that to them. And that's the big importance of being so excited about everything. Talking about going to Utah, talking about going to Super Saturday, talking about how your workout was so amazing and everything, or talking about a team call, just little itty bitty things, the excitement of what you guys do get excited about, you have to share that with others. So everything rises and falls on leadership. Leadership is a process. It's not a position. You can never, I want to say that you'll never learn fully leadership, because again, it changes, because leadership is dealing with people, right? And we know that the world and people change every single day. So leadership is going to change every single day, like the aspects behind it and everything. Now, of course, leading with your heart and the foundations can be learned. But leadership starts with you. So it's kind of crazy how good leadership isn't you advancing, but leadership starts with you. So modeling leadership qualities every single day. What is that? You're going to hear these things. You've heard them before, but I'm going to say them again. Commit with consistency and no excuses. Do you think if I'm sitting here like, oh, you guys, I can't make the team call tonight, or we don't have a team call because something came up? How would that make you guys feel if all of a sudden I said that? Like maybe if it was crazy, something came up, but all of a sudden next week it came up again. Do you think that you guys would be modeling that same behavior in your business? Unless you're a go-getter, you'd be like, well, she does it. All right. Okay. Well, next time I have a call with my one-on-one, no, I can't. I got to go get food because I'm hungry, like chocolate and peanut butter. I'm out. I got to go get some. Sorry, guys. Time to get off the call. I'll see you guys. I'm just kidding. I'm not going anywhere. The 3 vital behaviors. You guys are probably serious, huh? Dennis knows me. He's like, yeah, she probably really is. So the 3 vital behaviors, very basic and simple. We all should be working out. We all should be eating healthy. And even when I feel like I'm not progressing and it's so frustrating, yes, I get that way too. I gain and then I lose, and then I gain, I lose. And I'm like, I can't even put out a before and after photo after 3 weeks because I feel like I didn't go anywhere. But you know what? I'm still showing them that I'm working out every single day. I'll still put out my very before photos and my afters. I still talk about eating healthy and working out. Why? Because that's what I do and that's what I promote. Am I progressing? Probably not, because I love food. And I'm at the point where if I want to progress anymore, I really have to clean up my diet. And it's just not at that point where I really care that much to do that. I'll stay healthy, but I'm just not at that point where I want to hit that yet. Soon. Waiting for my challengers in that group to start hitting me now on our challenge group, because they're gonna hit me for this call because they know that I've talked about it. Yeah. Okay, Achieving Success Club. Success Club is huge. I'm telling you, it is a non-negotiable. The biggest thing about it is that if you're hitting Success Club, your business is growing, and it's really finding only 3 people. So if you're focusing on 3 people every single month to join you with a challenge pack, it's going to happen. And I can tell you right now, there's people on this call too that can tell you that you can go from 0 points and then in one day go to 8 to 10 points. No joke. It's happened. I've done it. Dennis, you did it, didn't you? Yeah. So it's something that it's when you get to that point where you're like, all right, how bad do I want it? You just start inviting more. You start building relationships more. You start doing the things that you would do, but you just start doing them very more, and you're staying consistent on them even more. So it's imagine if you would do that every single day. That would be insane. Like when I wanted to bring in 3 coaches because I didn't want to miss out on the nice prize that we had for our Diamond Dash, I brought on 4 coaches. I'm like, man, what if I would, and it was one day, 4 coaches. It wasn't 1 week, 4 coaches. It was one day that I had. I'm like, really? Why not do that every single day? Like, it'd be crazy. I wouldn't be able to manage that many people. I just couldn't. Working on it though. We got a new training system coming up. If you, some of the leaders in there seeing it. Yep. So, participating on team calls. Give yourself a big whoop whoop. Yep, you're on the team call. I told you I was pumped up today. It must be the lack of sweets and chocolate. Attending live events. So you guys modeling all these and you're being excited about them and you're talking about them. Your coaches are seeing them. Your challengers are seeing them. People that you are talking to are seeing you talk about this. Like, oh my gosh, I just went to a Super Saturday. It was amazing. It was so awesome. It was great to be around such positive people. Or, hey, I'm getting ready to go to a mansion, like a mansion where I'm going to fight with John Walls because he's going to take over the basketball court. But I told him, I got volleyball. It's going down. Like, we're going to have a dance off for this stuff. And people are going to be like, what is she talking about? Yep, that's right. I am crazy and I attract crazy people in a good way. Okay, so sharing all of these with excitement is the biggest thing. Not only on your page, oh my goodness, you got glow sticks? Oh gosh. Sorry. See, we're squirreling off tonight. It's okay. It's all good. Sharing the excitement about this on your page, but not only on your page, you guys, sharing this on the team page as well. Because I'm going to tell you right now, once you build your own team page, if you have your team, like you're sitting there talking, you're excited, and then you're not getting any comments or you're not getting people to share things that they learn, to me, that's why I feel like I fail as a leader. I'm like, okay, look at my team page. I'm like, where's everybody at? I feel like crickets are in here. And trust me, like I know, like Dennis will put videos over in the Team Smash, and I've asked him to bring them over to Believe2Achieve too. So maybe I just need to tell him to put it on YouTube, then he can put it on both. And the only reason why is because it's so fast paced over in Team Smash that you miss things. And that's going to happen in Believe2Achieve too. So that's why it's important when you have your team that you're doing it in your team. You can take things from the Smash or from Believe2Achieve and bring it over to your team that you feel is important. But the way that it goes so fast, coaches aren't on all the time, right? Unless you're a full-time coach and you're still not on all the time. Someone who doesn't check their notifications right here, that most people shouldn't, mine are always 99 plus. I don't know when my name gets tagged in a post over there. I don't see everything that goes on over there, and neither do all the coaches. So if you guys find something that's important in your personal development, you find something that's great for a YouTube video, share it on the team page and say why you love this, because someone else in that team is going to be struggling or find that light bulb moment with what you just shared. And that's what leaders do. Leaders do that for others. So I'm going to get in a little depth here with John C. Maxwell, because I think that he is one of the best people for speaking out on leadership. John C. Maxwell talks about in the 5 levels of leadership. He said most people learn leadership by trial and error. So what does that mean? It means do it, just go and do it. That's how you learn. Because you can never fully maximize leadership again. Like, it's every single day you're capping out and maxing it and learning and growing and learning and growing. But you'll never master leadership. So he believes that you can learn the foundation and then you have to continue every day, because again, everything is always changing. So let me tell you about the 5 levels of leadership and see where you guys fall at, okay? So he talks about number 1. Leadership for number 1 is position. So it's like a boss. So people at a job, it's just pretty much based on rights. Like, I'm the manager. That's what position is. I'm a manager. People follow them because they have to, right? Yeah, I got to listen to my boss who's got a 9-to-5 job, but they have to listen to a boss they really don't like to listen to. Don't worry. If you raise your hand, I'll make sure your boss doesn't see this. Or I'll maybe send it to their email just so that you can work this full time now. I'm just kidding. Number 2. So that was that was the first level of leadership. Second level is permission. So it's based on relationships. So people follow you because they want to, because you're building relationships with them and stuff. This is probably a lot of you guys are at this level or further on, right? Because you're building relationships with people every day. People will follow you because you add value to their life. And you're probably like, wait a minute, that's level 2? Then what's level 3, 4, and 5? Well, level 3 is production. It's based on results. So people follow you because of what you've done for the organization. Number 4, people development. So based on reproduction. So people will follow you because of what you've done for them. You know, producing diamonds, producing emeralds, producing success challengers, you know, results. And number 5 is pinnacle. That is based on respect. People will follow you because of who you are and what you represent. So I'm going to go in a little bit more detail here. So level 2, this is what stuck out to me when I was reading this book and everything. In level 2, he said, you can like people without leading them, but you cannot lead people well without liking them. And that kind of just hit me, and I'm like, wait a minute. And I read it over again, and I'm like, okay, so you can lead people, you can like people without leading them, but you cannot lead people without liking them. That's huge. So level 3, he talked about how good leaders don't just create a pleasant working environment, they get things done. So even though it might be fun, they also go through the daily tasks or things that they don't want to go through. They get it done. Level 4, it talked about how leaders become great not because of the power, but because of their ability to empower others. So on this level, teamwork goes to a very high level because the high investment in people, the deepens relationships, and it helps people to know one another and build better relationships and strengthen loyalty. Do you think that if you have loyalty in your team, you think if you have loyalty in your challengers, that your coaches or your challengers will work hard because of that? Like they trust you and that loyalty behind there? I mean, if you really don't trust anyone, you're probably going to shy away from that. So also performance increases because there are more leaders on the team, and they help to improve everybody's performance. And that's kind of like I said, those leaders that will go in the team page and they'll post out something that they thought was great, or maybe they put out a call to action, or maybe they just saw a call to action. Like you guys see that I'll share people's like Jarrell, he posted a video. I'm like, hey, this is a great post. Dennis, when he posted out a call to action, I was like, hey, this is a great post. And if I put it in there, take it from them. like you don't gotta ask. Like I know where he got it from because I saw it in the Team Smash go on. It was from Danielle. I can't ever pronounce her name right now. I'll say Cats and Fit and Funky. So we'll just go from there.
Cat and Zara.
There you go. So level 5, he said, requires not only effort, but skill and intentionality, but also a high level of talent. So they develop, when you're at a level 5, you're developing level 4 leaders and developing leaders to the point where they're able and willing to develop leaders, which is the most difficult leadership task at all, right? So that's like me creating Heather as a leader, and then Heather wanting and willing to go create leaders herself, and then them doing that same thing. That's when you get to that level 5, when you're truly creating those leaders that can duplicate the same thing that you're doing. And that's what we try to do. We make it so that you can duplicate the same stuff so that your team can grow. So level 5 leadership creates a legacy. That's pretty much it. And I know that I wrote on my dream board before I even read this book or anything, I said that I would leave a legacy behind. I'd leave a legacy of speaking. That was what I wrote on my dream board. So these levels are not like stairs. So you may think that when you go from one level to the next, you're going to leave it behind, right? Like you're like, okay, I'm a level 1. Great, I'm not in position anymore. But that's not how it happens. That's not how it's achieved. Instead, you're simply building upon everything. So for instance, you're at level 1 and you start building relationships, right? So level 1 was position. So you start building relationships. You advance to level 2. But are you going to leave your position as a coach? No, you're still going to have your position as a coach. So once you've built relationships with people and you start and moving to productivity and start adding, are you going to abandon or neglect your relationships? No, you got to keep it up. So it's a continuously building up. So you might see these as stairs, but you're not leaving it behind. You're only building it up. So, I mean, because if you abandon your relationships, you're going to be back at 1. So you better not. Just don't do that. You build as a leader, not trade. Good leaders do not lead everyone the same way because we are all at different levels. So this is something that goes well, and I'm going to hit quickly on our training, and I apologize if you're in the smash, but I don't apologize that you're in the smash, but talking about this, should I say. So I'm creating this live training group, and I added a couple people into the live training group for our leaders to kind of look at what I'm posting. What we're going to do is that's going to be open to all of Believe2Achieve. It's going to be open to your guys' coaches and your coaches' coaches. And how it works is there's going to be 3 modules, okay? And I believe that there's 6 lessons for each module. There'll be either 6 or 7. What you'll do is you'll add them on there. And it states in the very beginning, like, this is a live training group. You run it how you want to run through it. So if you want to run it in 7 days, go ahead, because there's some people that want to go. They need something that's going to keep going. They're not looking for something like, okay, here's a 21-day boot camp, or here's a 21-day coach basics, or whatever it may be. And they're like, okay, I got my day 1. Where's day 2? Like, they want to run with it. And then there's other coaches that come on and they're like, this is overwhelming. I already missed 4 days. Can I go in the next one? And then what happens? They go in the next one and they miss the next 4, they miss the 4 days, or they go great for the first 4 days and they miss the next 4 days. And they're like, well, can I do the next one? So this live training group is completely set up. All they have to do is they go and they click on it and it pulls up. So I'll show you here quick too. How about I do that? So this is what it's going to look like. I just started it. So here it is. And it talks about how once they complete it, what we're going to do is we're going to offer monthly prizes. So whoever joined it or whoever completed it in that month on, I don't know, we'll say, I don't know if it's number 1, the first day of the month or whatever, we'll pull out a name of those that completed it for the previous months. So, but what they have to do is they have to tag their upline and tag me in the date that they complete it so we can get them for that prize. So lesson 1, they go to it, they click on it, and it will take them to a place where it pretty much basically starts out. And it's going to start off with their why and everything. So this is what it's going to look like. It's not completely done. It should be done by this weekend though. So then that way, all you have to do is you have to add them in. They'll have, I got to add this to our pin site. So you'll make sure that they just go to the pin site. They can follow it as fast as they want. They can go as slow as they want. But the reason why I'm telling you about this is, like I said, we can't lead everyone the same way. But I'm hoping that how this all works, most of you guys have been in my mentorship group. So you get them in the live training, you're able to create a mentorship group and work with them one-on-one. And instead of doing like all the stuff that I did, like you can do your group calls that you want, but you can go one-on-one with these coaches, but they're learning the basic task and different stuff that we talked about. So it's kind of great to go ahead and have this put together. Like, you'll see the benefits of everything. So the higher you go, the easier it is to lead others. Hi. So the higher you go, the easier it is to lead others. So this doesn't mean that you're not going to do any hard work, right? But what it will be is it's easier to lead others because your influence increases. So each step of growth requires further development. So, hi kids. Thank you so much. I'm on a call one-on-one. Would you please go out? You guys are supposed to be in bed. And this is on record, so everyone is going to see it. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Guess we're going to have a party here. Good night. Give me a kiss. You won't have a nightmare. Mommy's a Beachbody coach. I got this, right? All right, so that's true life, right? That's what happens. You got kids that don't want to go to bed when they should already be in bed, coming out and like, hey. Okay, so as I was saying, each step of growth requires further development on the part of the leader. So let me read to you out of this book here by John C. Maxwell. It's How Successful People Lead. And it says, here's how this works. To grow a new level, leaders take risk. At lower levels, the risks are smaller and more easily won. For example, to climb from level 1 to level 2, leaders risk initially relationships. So that's all you're risking, right? You're risking building relationships. Not that big of a deal. You should be building them in your everyday life. So when leaders get to higher levels, the risk gets bigger. For example, on level 3, leaders may rally the team to try to accomplish a lofty goal only to fail. That could cost the leader credibility, stop momentum, and demotivate team members. Kind of sounds familiar if you've ever had a team cup where you're leading and it didn't achieve a prize and you're like, wah, wah, wah. And you're like, crap, I failed. You know? But here's the good news. Every risk at a higher level is a natural extension of the skills that leaders have by then developed. So outsiders might look at a leader and say, wow, he really stepped out and took a big risk. But those observers may not see the growth that has occurred in the leader. By the time the next risk must be undertaken, the leader has grown into it. So, you've already done it and you're just taking risk after risk after risk. So this was something that I thought was interesting too. It says growing as leaders requires a combination of intentional growth and leadership experience. So you have to intentionally want to grow yourself personally, and that's one of the vital behaviors, right? But you also have to have leadership experience, which means just going and doing it. So if people rely only on experience without intentionally learning and prepping for the next level. So if you're just going out and creating challenge groups, but you're not doing any personal development, you're not learning, you're not figuring out YouTube videos and all that stuff that you need to, you're not going to progress as leaders. On the other hand, if you're only preparing mentally, so if you're taking in all the training, you're like, oh, I've done this, I've learned this, I've learned that. And yet you have no experience, you're not taking any risk, you're not going out there and creating challenge groups, or you're not going out there and building a team or anything. So if you're not going through risk and reward and trial and error, then there still won't be any progress. So you need both. It takes both plus some amount of talent, but you have no control over how much talent you possess. It was given to you by God. So you can't control you control only what you do with it. So as far as that goes, that's why the personal development is huge. You need to grow yourself personally. And you also need to, what was the other thing? Who wants to say it? Told you we were going to interact tonight. What were the two things? Personally growing, intentionally growing. It's okay. It takes people a long time to get off mute. Did that totally caught you guys all off guard? You're like, oh, I don't remember. Experience. So experience turning the mute off and being like, hey, I was wrong. It's all right, you guys. Okay, so you guys have to focus. And that's kind of hard when you have a leader who does not focus very well. But I'm telling you right now, if you truly did see a video of me throughout the day, you'd be like, holy crap, what is she on? Because she goes and gets a lot done. Because I truly believe that and I feel that. So you have to honor your schedule, your power hour or your 3 or 5 or 8 hours, whatever you have time to work on what you're doing, you have to honor that time. So maybe you only have an hour and that's fine, but you have to honor that hour. And you need to honor it by not doubting yourself and not getting sidetracked and not telling yourself, okay, well, everybody's going to be a coach because there's 500,000 coaches. So there's going to be like all these other coaches. And, this girl, she looks like a model. And she grew up in like the right place. She's in LA. Everybody wants to be healthy and fit there. And, this person's got tons of coaches, friends and everything. Like, you get my drift here. Shut your mind off. Quit listening to what you think and go and do it. Because I'm going to tell you, you're going to see the progression right away. Because all you're leading into is the enemy and not into what truly is out there for you. And you've just wasted 30 minutes complaining about how this or that is not right and wrong and this and that. But when you truly get into the success stories of coaches, you'll see the dark side that you haven't seen or that you didn't know about. So ask yourself, is what you're doing now something that could help influence someone, that could add value now or later to your business? You need to completely get rid of distractions. If your cell phone is a distraction while you're on your power hour, get rid of it if that's not part of your power hour. So imagine your coaches or challengers watching you for 24 hours. I'm not kidding you, 24 hours. And I seriously, truly challenge you guys to this. I'm not kidding you. I challenge you one day, pick that day and being like, okay, there's going to be a camera on me. If you've got to put like a reminder on your phone, hey, your coaches are watching you, your challengers are watching you. If they were truly watching you for one full day, how different would your day look? Who thinks that their day would look completely different if they had a camera on them? I'm not going to lie. I'll raise my hand there. So do any of you guys feel that you can eliminate distractions? Who wants to give me a distraction that they're going to take out? You can type it in the box. You can unmute. Everyone's just not opening up now. Come on. So, all right, I'll wait for that post to go on the team page. See, this is what leadership's about. I'm asking questions. How do I need some people to talk. So think about the things that you guys can eliminate and what you can take out. So now let's talk about goals. How many of you guys set goals? I hope everyone. Am I boring you guys? Do we need to all stand up? I'm going to make you guys like stand up and start doing push-ups. All right. How many of you guys set goals? Let's see some hands, or let's hear some, yeah, me. Okay. How many of you guys break your goals down? So yearly, quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily. Anybody? Okay. If you don't do this, this is going to be something that I challenge you to do over this next year, and you can start now. Daily goals are kind of pretty basic because they go with your daily consistent task. Like I'm going to reach out to 10 people a day. I'm going to meet 10 new people a day. I'm going to invite 3 people to the challenge group every single day. I'm going to invite 2 people to the, quit yawning, Alex. I'm just kidding. That's all good. So, see, I'm getting everybody to laugh and smile tonight. It's all good. So your daily tasks are going to be, your daily goals are going to be what you already have. Weekly goals, you can kind of set it up how you want. Monthly goals, that Success Club 5, Success Club 10, whatever you want. Maybe you want to bring on 2 coaches at least a month, or maybe you want to coach a week. Quarterly goals, those are always kind of like when I review goals and everything too. And then yearly goals. So when someone says, when you guys have coaches that come on and they're like, yeah, I want to be diamond by the end of the year. No. You want diamond by when? It's going to take you a year? No, it's not. You're going to set the expectations for them. You're going to set expectations for yourself, and you're going to set them high. So you guys always hear, or how many of you guys have heard like, oh, don't set your expectations too high because then you're going to get disappointed when they don't happen, right? I think it's a bunch of bull crap, and I think it's a load of crap. And I think that if you're not shooting as high as you can, because one thing that I know is that I'm never going to offend God by dreaming too big or expanding too high. But if I doubt myself, what is that doing? If I'm like, oh, well, I can only do this in this amount of time, I'm going to shoot as high as I can. And there's this quote here. It's by Jack Kinder. It's high achievement always takes place in the framework of high expectations. So did you hear that? High achievement always takes place in the framework of high expectations. So you set your expectations high and you set your coach's expectations higher. That's what a leader will do. Why? Because you're not doubting yourself. You're believing in yourself. You're speaking about it. You're doing it. And that's what's important. So you set them high for a couple of reasons. If you're going to push because you want this, and like I said, if I'm telling people and they're like, yeah, I'm going to be diamond by in 6 months, they're going to want it now. Same way as I told you guys, if you think that there's not an abundance enough of people out there, then what are you doing taking all your time going through this training? What are you taking all of your time? And I don't want to say all of your time, but your free time. You guys are working hard. I have no doubt in my mind that you guys are each working hard. I know that you guys are because you're on these calls every single week. I've talked to each and every single one of you. I know your dreams. I know your goals. So if you're working this hard, why are you not going out and doing it now? What is stopping you? I can't tell you what's stopping you. You have to figure that out, and then you have to push it aside and tell it to shut up, walk away from it, kick it, punch it, whatever you want to do, but just go and do it. Because there is something that will stop you. Because if other people can do it, so can you. And the best part is that I believe in every single one of you. I pray for each and every single one of you, and I fully believe that each and every single one of you have the best heart put in place for what you're doing. So you need to figure out what it is that's stopping you, and then you need to go for it. So that's one reason. If you're going to push, if you want it now, or if you're going to push because you want this, then know that you can and that you will. If you don't achieve it, then you gave it your all, and then you're going to still give it your all. You're probably going to be like, wow, I did way more than I expected. So if we're going to go talk, I want to get into the whole money aspects here quick, okay? Because right? That's something that we can't not talk about because, yes, we're all in it for the right reasons. We're all in it to lead with our heart. We're all in to help people. But, of course, we want to build an income. So I'll tell you that the depths of diamonds in your organization is what's really going to create a mass volume and create that income that's coming in, right? Otherwise, you can work your butt off and you can find 50 people to become in a challenge, not be able to fully give your all to them because that's a lot of flipping people to work with. And unless you have some great setup for it, then that's fine. But if you don't, I'm telling you right now, this is where you build your team because you can't reach out to everyone. There's other people that are looking to create income and be at home with their kids or whatever their dreams are and goals. So building depths of diamonds. So let's say you're only a 5-star diamond, but you have a 2-star in the one and a 5-star here and a 2-star here. And those diamonds are just scattered, and that creates massive volume. I'm going to tell you that right now. So how many of you have heard that 80% of your income will be generated by 20% of your downline? It's true. So you will find that 80% of your income when you're building in that volume is going to come from 20% of your team. So what does that tell you right there? This is something that I had to learn so hard. Work with those that are going to walk the walk. You cannot help everyone. Everyone's going to come on and they're going to be like, yeah, I'm so excited. You're going to get them in the training, and guess what? They're not going to show up, and you're going to get disappointed, and you're going to get frustrated, and you're going to be like, what am I doing wrong? Why are they not showing up? And then you reach out to them, and you're giving that, you know why you're doing it. But I'm going to tell you right now that yes, reach out to them. But when they're not coming back to you you need to let it go for a little bit. Because you're going to miss out on that piece of gold that wants this, that has a vision to build because they see a future for themselves and their family. They see a future to help other people. You are going to miss out on those people. It's so hard for me as a Pearl because I want to help every single person. And I honestly will tell you, even to this day, I know I still overdo it because I care that much about people. It's not for me to create an income because I'll go and just buy whatever I can and send it off to gifts because that's who I am. I don't care one lick about money. I don't. And so I'm telling you right now, learn the lesson that work with those that are going to walk the walk. Okay? You can't help everyone. But imagine you working with 2 people a month, really doing that mentorship, and you help them create diamond and you build them to become that leader that you want them to become. Then they can go ahead and do that again. And then the next month you're working with 2 people. And then the next month 2 people. That's how it works. You find those 2 people that have a vision, that have a goal, that want to work, and that are going to walk the walk. They're like, I want to help people. Like, I know that I was called to help people. I know that I am going to build a legacy. I know I was created for something big, and I'm going to go find that. And that's who you're going to work with. And I know, like I said, money is not everything. I'm going to tell you right now, this is a bigger, greater purpose. And I think I told Heather and Shauna, since we were on the team, like, what I feel that Beachbody is bigger than like what I'm doing with Beachbody. So I'll share that with you guys here. I'll share it with those people in Utah, but I'll probably create a video about it here. So you guys know my vision. You'll know why I'm doing what I'm doing. But let me tell you this. How crazy would it be, you guys, if you received $50,000 every quarter in your bank account? Do you guys think that'd be just like insane if all of a sudden like you woke up and there was $50,000 extra in your bank account every quarter? That's nuts. That's insane, right? Okay. What would that do for you? Think about that. What would it do for your family? What would it do for the charities that you all want to be involved in? Like, oh, well, here's $5,000 for this quarter, like, here you go. They'd be like, what? Oh yeah, here you go. So the reason that I ask you this is because as star diamonds, you get quarterly bonuses, okay? At 2-star, you get quarterly bonus, 5-star, you get quarterly bonus, 10-star, and then 15-star. As a 15-star, you get the pool for 15-star, for 10-star, for 5-star, and for 2-star. I just saw someone's quarterly bonus just this previous quarter as a 15-star, and it was almost $50K. So they got paid $50,000 in their bank account because they were a 15-star diamond coach. That was it. That's you working with 15 people, right? Generating 15 people. I mean, it's more than that. Yes, it is. But just think about that for a second. And that does not include you helping out your people or your team volume or your cycle bonuses and stuff. But I just really want you to think of that. Because again, this is where the whole leadership comes into play. And as you guys know, the disclaimer, if Beachbody wants to take this video off, which I don't think would happen, but yes, you're not guaranteed any level of success. It's based on you. But of course, if you're a 15-star, you're helping out people, right? But so to recap all of this and everything is that leadership isn't something, again, it's not a position. It's something that you earn, and it's something that you have to continuously grow on. And you have to work with each person in their leadership with where they're at, because not everybody's at the same level. It becomes easier to build leaders as you build leaders, but it's hard to reach that level. So it's hard to get there, but it becomes easier to build leaders. So the biggest thing is us working together as a team, us working together to become better leaders each and every single day, and us helping and build leaders around you. That's what it's going to be all about. So, I mean, do you guys have any questions? Do you have any comments? I know it was a lot of information and everything, but I'm telling you, like, I focus on leadership every single day because I'm like, what can I do better? And if no one has a comment, I guess I have a question. So, what do you guys think about this new live training that's coming out? Did that look pretty cool? So the only thing about the live training that I will say is that it's not going to build the relationship with the coaches when you get them in there, because something's not coming out every day. They're going to have to do it on their own. So, but what's the nice thing is that it gives you the ability to work with them and build a relationship with them and stay consistent in following up with them. And like I said, doing that one-on-one mentorship if that's what you want to do. But at least the basic content's out there, and it's really, I think it's going to be kind of a game changer for our team, and that's what I'm hoping for. So I'm going to look in the chat here, and if anyone has any questions or comments, feel free to pull it up. Yes, debt-free vacation, bringing husbands, spouses home. Like, these are all huge things. Like, you guys have to remember your whys every day. And again, it comes down to both whys. It comes down to why you're doing this for other people. And those that I'm mentoring, I show you guys that every day, that it's not about you. It's about you listening to everyone's problems and helping and solving that solution, right? All right. Well, if nobody has anything to say, and that's it, I'm going to let the call be that. And I just want to thank you guys all for coming. And feel free to send this to your coaches. Again, let's work together. And day by day, we're going to get there. So you guys have a good night. Bye.